Hi everyone, it's Az here. So I'm a little bit after watching this week's episode of Batwoman, season 1, episode 16. Why? Because this episode is two absolute polar opposites, right? There is actually legitimately good stuff in this episode that you have to give credit for. On the other hand, it highlights everything wrong with the character of Kane, and that runs right through to the casting of Ruby Rose. Let's get into it all. Hi everyone, Az here from HeelvsBabyface. I'm confused. I'm confused. I don't know how to do this review. I've done, up until this episode, 15 episodes of trash. Unmitigated trash. Once you've done that, you get into a very comfortable mindset about how to approach the reviews. And last week, although last week had me in stitches, because I thought it just completely embraced the madness of the show, this week's episode, there is actually some legitimately good stuff. And the horrible stuff. But this is the first time I've been able to get through a Batwoman episode in one sitting. Yes, one sitting. Didn't have to take a break. Didn't have to cool down. Didn't have to just stop for my mental health. No, I got through the whole episode in one sitting. And this is a tale... Sorry, I'm going to have to monologue. I'm monologuing at the start of this. Because this is a tale of two shitties. Not cities, shitties. Alright? You have, on the one hand, some actually good stuff. Luke, Mary are well written in their little arc in this episode. Mary feels like a character. Luke feels like a character. Then we have a decent plot which runs through, which involves the crows, which I thought was impossible because the crows are probably the worst thing about this show apart from Ruby Rose. Then we have some good stuff between Alice and Kate in this episode as well. Admittedly, 95.9% of it is carried by Rachel Scarsden. Yeah, well, something like that. Something like that. Because in this episode, she's excellent. But do you know what the shite is? Do you know what the other shitty is? Is this. This thing here. Everything about this is wrong. Wrong. The character of Kane is disgusting. Disgusting beyond repair, I feel. I do feel that. When I actually have empathy for the mass murderer more than I do for the hero, you have really screwed up your show. Because Kate is so sociopathic and narcissistical, it just makes her just disgusting and unlikable. And then, just to compound matters, Ruby Rose is shite. A tale of two shitties right here. Ruby Rose can't act for shit. She can't. I'm sorry. It's nothing personal against Ruby. I'm sure in reality, she's a lovely person. She can't act for shit. Her portrayal of Kane is abysmal. It's appalling. It's unbelievable. Literally unbelievable. And then you compound the terrible character on top of it. Boom. There you go. You Charles Dick out, not Dickens, because she's a lesbian. A tale of two shitties right there. So, with that said, also, the massive underlining thing about this is Kate has just murdered somebody. And this episode tries everything in its power to just palm it off. Everybody tells Kate, don't worry about it. Even Kate, at one point in the episode, says, I don't even feel guilty for murdering somebody. Oh my God. Your hero, when your hero, who is not meant to kill, this isn't Green Arrow. Green Arrow was brought up on the island to survive, and to survive he had to kill. That's how he got it built into his DNA. And he tried in later seasons to break the program. He did for a while, then it kept going back to it. Whatever. But Kate is taking over the mantle of the bat she doesn't kill. Oy vey. Let's get into it. Monologue over. Let's get into it, because I want to talk about the good stuff, and I also want to... So writers, you are clearly demonstrating you can write if you want to. So I've got a question. Why haven't you been trying? Why haven't you been trying? Is it because, perchance, by some measure, that your only goal, when you thought you were going to create this show, your only goal was to go, Batwoman's gay? And that was the only message that you wanted to convey, and so you just didn't think this through. And now, you're 16 episodes in, and on probably, I'm going to call this the best episode of the season so far, by a country mile, you can't get out of your rut. You can't get out of your rut because the damage is done. Oh, man. Just imagine if you actually cared from episode 1. Just imagine. You could have saved yourself probably a bit of heartache, but there we go. So, starts off with them burying the body of August, who Kate murdered last episode. And then Alice takes the piss out of her for a bit. She steals the gun off Jacob. And then she says, hey, I'm going to get Mouse. And then we're going to go. So Alice is immediately loose again because Jacob took the handcuffs off her. Oh, well, right, let's carry on then. So, before she leaves, she says, oh, by the way, your DNA, and she's quite right, is all over this crime scene. As well as the tracks from the 4x4, the footprints, everything. Your DNA is everywhere. I will grass you up if you try and catch me. So Kate dons the Batwoman costume for the 3 freaking seconds that she seems to do in episodes now. This is a show called Batwoman, and she barely puts on the Batwoman costume. I got a theory on this. Is it embarrassment? CW, is it embarrassment? Are you embarrassed to put this character in the costume? I would be. I would be, personally. There is good stuff. I will get to the good stuff. Now, this is, when I say this is fine, it's not really at all, but it's fine, and she's very brutal with the criminal. That's fine. Batman is brutal. Kate can be brutal. Fine. She, breaks his ankle or something. And then he says, hey, you get a kick out of this, or you need people like me for you to exist. And then she nearly throttles him to death, and then she tells him to go. Why? Why did you tell him to go? He was, well, I'd say he's trying to steal this car, but you threw him into the windscreen and destroyed the windscreen of the car, so you've probably caused more damage than actually helping out here. But why didn't you just put a bat bowler around his hands and legs and then call the police for them to pick him up? No? Okay. And just another thing before I forget. This scene ends, by the way, with Kate looking up to the sky and seeing the bat symbol in the sky. Right? But I thought the GCPD weren't going to call Batwoman anymore because she was gay and they're all homophobic. Remember? Remember your own plot. Okay, no, they don't remember their own plot lines. They thought it'd be a cool visual. Oh, look, you're being summoned, but you just murdered somebody. But it doesn't make sense. Make sense. God damn it. So, Kate basically looks like this for the whole of the episode. This is Kate all episode. Like this, right here. That's it. That is the extent and the end of Ruby Rose's acting, and this is why it's so fucking poor. So she has a monologue to Bruce. You know, she does those monologues. I became the thing that I hated the most. But it makes no sense because later in the episode, as I said, she doesn't care that she killed him. She doesn't feel guilty that she killed him. Even Jacob says to her at the start, don't feel guilty for killing this person. I understand that the guy was a monster. Don't get me wrong. I understand that. But she took a life. And look what happened when Alice took her life. Look what Bruce told her when he took a life. When I took a life, I couldn't stop. It's a pit. It's a precipice and you fall in and you can't stop yourself. But they... Okay. So, I can't remember what else happened. So, anyway, Alice turns up to her den and all of her bunny rabbits are dead. They've been murdered. And then she goes up to her... what's-a-majiggy, her little thing. Did you think I would forget your friend from Coriana, which is Sophia, isn't it? Sophia? So, Sophia is coming. Great. Still. Wonderful. No one cares. Okay, so then we have Jacob and Sophie in a car, not doing anything heterosexual because this is Batwoman. And Jacob says, I want you back on the case. And Sophie's just like, okay, well, you did suspend me. And my feelings about Batwoman haven't changed. And Jacob's like, oh, I don't care. Jacob's like, I don't care. So anyway, he explains to Sophie about the fact that the murder of Lucius Fox seems suspicious because the person who was jailed for his murder... there's a lot of inconsistencies. There's footage, CCTV footage, which has been removed for videotapes of it. And also the Crows paid the owner of the shop $50,000 for cleanup. And it just doesn't make a lick of sense. So he wants Sophie to go investigate what is going on. Fine. Fair enough. Things are making sense, apart from the fact that Sophie seems to like Batwoman. So Sophie calls Kate, and based off the conversation that she had, and Kate pretends to, well, I was going to say Ruby pretends to act. No, Ruby just does this. Appalling. Get an actress! Get an actress. Get an actress to play. So, Alice turns back up to the gay bar and says, hey, all my rabbits have been killed. I need you to help me break Mouse out of Arkham. Or find Mouse. Because Mouse hasn't been found yet. He does later on. And if you help me, Mouse and I will leave the city for good. We'll keep on murdering people, but we'll leave the city for good. So, this is where the show really fucks up. Because the show, again, plays the, hey, by the way, I, Alice, criminal mastermind, manipulated you into killing August Cartwright. No. You put him there to be found. There was no evidence to suggest that Cartwright would spill the beans about your severed mum's head. Your mum who got fridged Remember all those SJWs that complain about women getting fridged in comics and stuff, and then they fridged a woman? Themselves, because they're hypocrites and they just complain about shit for the sake of complaining about shit. Oh, Gail Simone, you are trash. Okay, so she tries to make it feel as if Kate is not responsible for killing August Cartwright. No, she is. She's very responsible. She put the hands round his throat. She throttled him to death. She's very, very responsible. She murdered him. But this show doesn't know what a hero is. And that's a huge problem. People are just like, as this is not funny anymore. You're not going insane. Why aren't you going insane? I tune in for you to go up. So they have a spat, and I think they end up... Do they end up having a fight? Oh, not yet. Oh, God, blimey, Charlie. Yeah, they say, right, okay, let's go find Mouse. That's the be-all in it. That's the basic, the crux of it. So they turn up at this woman's house, and they just say, hey, we're undercover crows. We're not going to show you any ID, and this is the face, completely uncovered, of a wanted murderer! And I'm apparently the bestest ever Kane, and everyone knows who I am, completely undisguised. Can we come into your house? Sure, she says. Then they eat some brownies. So now we go to the courtroom. They call in the guy that allegedly murdered, Lucius Fox. Luke is at the courtroom. His mother couldn't turn up because she didn't want to. She's fit. I'm quite like that. She's probably gay. And then Mary turns up and tries to console Luke. And she's just like, look, I know that you probably want to be alone right now, but this is difficult. And, you know, you should be with friends. This is why I'm here. Mary is an actual character. Luke is worried, concerned. He's jigging his leg. He's an actual character. I'm like, oh my God, these people are real. They're real. They're not a fucking parody like they've been for 15 episodes. Particularly this thing here. Because I don't understand what the hell this has been for 15 episodes. Is she a selfless person with an abortion clinic? No, she's a selfish, self-absorbed, materialistic Instagram influencer who loves and supports the gays, but when she gets hit on by a gay, suddenly becomes massively homophobic. Who is this person? Who is this person? But this episode, they decided this person is going to be a person. I'm okay with her being a person. I like it when it's a person, because when it's a person, I can empathise with people. See how that works? Do you see how that works? Okay, let's move on. So anyway, they say, hi, look, due to the... we'll get to it later. Sophie turns up at the owner of the Quickie Mart where Lucius Fox was killed in. Why? Multi-millionaire. Lucius Fox was in a Quickie Mart in the wrong part of town. I've got no idea whatsoever. But okay. Anyway, she comes inside. Ladies. Nobody comes inside in this show. They're all gay. And, unless Luke wants to come out. She's found dead on the floor. And then, there's a red beam on Sophie's chest. Oof, Sophie, look at it for me, Sophie, touch it for me. Okay, moving on. And somehow an invisible person who was hiding in the apartment jumps and saves Sophie. And guess who it is? It is the comic relief, because this character is ridiculous, but ridiculously fit. Julia Pennyworth is back, and yes, she's as fit as she always was. And she's like, all right, my darling, cuddles and muscles, all right, darling, all right, my fab, all my cuddles. Worst secret agent ever. But never mind. By the way, I got blasted out of a 3-story building. It was absolutely fine. So they're still in the house without ID, a mass murderer and a multi-billionaire, according to this show, although fuck knows how she got any money. And then they realise Mouse has turned up to kill the woman. Oh, this is a nurse, by the way, and they've turned up to a house. I know. They've turned up to a house because they believe Mouse is targeting nurses from Arkham. Okay. So Mouse turns up, but then all the crows turn up. And then the woman in the house said, haha, I let you in so I could call the crows and get them to come here. And then Jacob has the opportunity to murder the person who murdered his estranged wife. But he doesn't. Right. This is what frustrates me, because there is, like I said, there's good stuff in this episode. There's good stuff with the characters of Luke and Mary, and the first half is all over the place, as you can clearly see. The second half is what gets pretty good, right? But just listen to this, folks. Fuck my ass. Kate's mum died in a car crash. The car fell over the bridge and she was decapitated from the fall. That has been established in the show. Beth, Alice, whoever you want to call them, was also missing, presumed dead. Jacob's estranged wife, ex-wife, well, let's say ex-wife as in X as in dead, not X as in divorced, planted false evidence to say that Beth was dead so Jacob could move on. A disgusting thing to do. But as we saw... never mind. Forget that last bit. So, Beth is kidnapped by August Cartwright, taken to his house to live as a prisoner, driven mad by... I don't know, really. Ass masks. And Alice in Wonderland, having to read Alice in Wonderland over and over again. And dead cats. And crazy mums. But Cartwright found the head of their mum. He didn't kill her. He found her head. Because he was like, oh, she's a very pretty woman. I'm going to use her face to give to my crazy ass mum as an ass mask. Even though she'll still be an old 80-something biddy. But have the face of a beautiful young woman. Kate killed him for that. He didn't kill Beth. He didn't kill her mum. He was horrible to Beth, sure. And he drove her insane, absolutely. But he didn't kill her, and he didn't kill the mum. He just wanted the face to give to his grandma. To his mum, old mum. She killed him for that. This guy's wife was murdered by this guy. He's in a position to shoot him dead. What does he do? He doesn't cave to it. He takes him in. Fuck off! Fuck off! This is the annoyance of this show. You've just shown that he can be the better person, but Kate couldn't? The hero of your show couldn't be the better person? Now Jensen Ackles has fallen over onto John Wick and it looks like they're bumming each other. I'm sorry, guys, but... So why is the hero of your show so pathetic? He didn't even murder anyone, and you had Kate kill him. He murdered his wife. Jacob's the better man. It's so ass backwards. This show would make much more sense if Jacob had the fall. Not Kate, Jacob. If Jacob actually started the show as a really upstanding, I really want to do what's best for Gotham as the leader of the Crows, then Kate comes along and dons the mantle of the Bat. I mean, fuck me, I'm writing a better show than them, but whatever. Then Kate comes along, dons the mantle of the Bat, and he sees how this vigilante is cutting corners. Frustrates him because he's working by the rules. And so he starts to think, I'll cut corners too. But in him cutting corners, it leads to things going wrong. People getting killed. Ending up with him taking vengeance for his dead wife. It would make more sense for Kate to try and balance her vigilantism with her father's fall from grace than a father showing that he is 10 times the person that Kate will ever be. It does get much better in the second part, I do promise, but the first part is, like I said, it's a tale of two shitties, this. It is so frustrating. So, anyway, the woman says, I called the Crows, and then they kick her in. And then they go back to the gay bar. Even though she could identify her as Kate Kane and identify her as, fuck off! Look, I've got a 9-inch nails. I wish you'd stick them in your fucking head! Sorry. Kind of losing it a little bit in a minute. Because it's so annoying. Because this is where the show turns around. This is where this episode turns around. And gets what I think is pretty damn good. So, we get all this speech about, I manipulated you, blah-de-blah-de-blah. Mouse is dragged into Arkham. Oh, white man bad. Of course, white man bad. Every fucking white man's bad in this show. They set up that this cell needs 2 keys. One of them is held by the doctor. One of them is held by the head of security. And it does a lot of the setting up for the payoff later. So Alice is just like, right, let's break into Arkham and get Mouse out, and then I'll get out of your hair. And then they have a spat because they're sisters and all this shite. And then Kate nearly kills her again because Kate's a disgusting person. This guy gets freed because of lack of evidence and he's going to be retrialed. Luke is very pissed and looks like a very pissed person and looks like somebody who needs answers to questions. And Mary's concerned, even though she's looking like she wants to stab him in the face. I don't know if that's a race thing, but stop it. And this was good. This was good, but we're going to move on because we've got to get on to the crazy bitches. So the crazy bitches have stopped having the fight. And Kate says, I will reunite you with Mouse, but I need to trust you. And Alice is like, you can trust me. And she means it. This isn't a fake Alice thing. This is, you can trust me. Because she believes she's got a kindred spirit with Kate. Because Kate has now killed somebody. And she understands what Alice has had to go through for the past umpteen years. And this is when you actually start to empathise with Alice. Because Rachel Scarsden plays her very well indeed. And you sort of appreciate the trials that she's now been through. So, she gives her the 411 on how to break into Arkham. They set up a decoy, nicely set up. They plant a bomb on a linen truck, so they think there's going to be a breakout from the front entrance, and it distracts them while they go into the underground tunnels to get into Arkham. It's well set up. It's well set up. They put on bunny masks so that they're not recognised. Kind of a little bit too late, never mind. There's actually some good fight scenes. Now, I know people are going to say it's so unrealistic that a 12-year-old boy can kick these guys in. Look, it's comics and it's superheroes, and you've got to have a suspension of disbelief. The actual choreographing of it is pretty good. The fights were pretty good and enjoyable. And it made me think, yeah, this person could do that based off the skills that they were showing. So I am absolutely okay with it. They then split up. You go this way to get your key. I'll go this way to get my key. It's very important that they split up, by the way. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. So, Julia actually got hit by the bullet that Sophie was meant for Sophie. So they go to the underground abortion clinic to get it sorted out. Mary walks in and is just like, sorry, have I just walked in on some hot lesbian action? And she's like, no, we didn't come to your fucking hospital to scissor, you freak. It's not what people do. They come to hospitals to get fucking fixed. But that's just by the by. And, so anyway, she's like, no, you freak. But they introduce themselves both as ex-girlfriends of Kate. Again, it's so important to know where Kate's tongue's been, okay? So we get a scene which I really liked. No shade, no bullshit. Really like this scene a lot. Yes, it's a bit of a rip-off of Batman Begins, where Batman confronts Joe Chill, just without the gun. But it's a similar premise, and it still worked very well. Luke confronts who he thinks murdered his father. The guy says to his mum, go inside, mum, I'll join you shortly. So Luke says, why did you kill my dad? And he's like, dude, I did not kill your dad. I don't know what happened. Yeah, I'm a gangbanger. Yeah, I've got a criminal record. And whoever killed your dad struck gold with me being in that 7-Eleven. Because the only thing I know is your dad was in that 7-Eleven talking about how proud he was of you because you just got into MIT. And it was just like, oh, okay. So he's, Lucius Fox is in here. He's buying some stuff. He can't help but brag. I'm so proud my son's just got into MIT. And then he said, then I just wake up and I've got a gun by me and Lucius is dead and all this kind of stuff and I get arrested. And Luke is really conflicted because he's kind of like, maybe this is true. I don't know. And he's just like, sorry. And he's like cut up about the fact that his father was so excited that he got into MIT. He never knew that, of course, because why would he? This was the last moments of his father. So Luke starts to kind of cry without, tears come down. It's good acting. And so he's like, so why did he kill him? And he's like, I didn't kill him. And then, bang, somebody snipes the guy. Douche. Takes him out. Drops dead. Bang. And then Luke's just like, please, help. Don't worry. They aren't going to do the stupid thing that they did before and say, oh, Luke's going to be accused. No. They recognize that this was a hit. This was a sniper. Snipers everywhere in Gotham. It was a good scene. And for the first time in 16 episodes, Luke felt like a character. And I did enjoy it. And this guy dies. So, what have we got so far? We've got the owner of the 7-Eleven murdered by a sniper. We've got the person who is framed for the murder murdered, sniped. Nice little story developing. So, goes back to the girls. Alice goes into the doctor's office, throws the knife at him, but doesn't hit him, throws it into his desk, because she promised no killing. Her murderous sister said, don't kill anyone. And she said, okay, murderous sister, I won't kill anyone. Not that it's bothered Kate at all, but never mind. Again, this is some of the problems with the show. So she says, I could kill you, but I won't. I made a promise, because she trusts her sister and she gets the key. Kate takes out some more people. He sets off the silent alarm, so Alice takes him out. Doesn't kill him, knocks him unconscious and says, you'll live. Then Kate gets rumbled, trying to creep up on the security guard. They have a good fight. He gives some back at her. It's good, and then more come in. Then she starts trying to kill everyone. Now, I'm going to get back to this scene. Okay, I'm going to get back to this scene. But firsthand, it's good. It's good. It's good fighting. It's good choreographing. And then she stabs. She needs Alice to take out the last guy. So she says, Alice, chuck us your knife. So Alice chucks her the knife and she stabs the knife in his leg. Ow. He lets her go. They knock her out. They get the key. And they go to Mouse's cell. So this is where I was just like, oh, well done, show. Well done. Because I actually didn't see this coming. And I didn't see this coming, not because I'm a thicko. Well, I am a thicko, but not because of that reason. I liked it. I didn't see it coming because the show has been completely illogical for 15 episodes. And Kate has constantly let Alice go time and time and time again. Alice's hideout is known by Kate, and Kate hasn't ever called the police to apprehend her. So I never saw this coming when Kate locks her in. Kate locks her in the cell. And Alice, and some brilliant acting. Oh my God, some brilliant pretending by Rachel Scarsden is absolutely mortified. Mortified. Why? Why? No, Kate, let me out. She's begging, she's bargaining. Kate, let me out. You promised. And Kate says, the setup from earlier. I promised I would reunite you with Mouse. Got him. Yeah, she did. That's what she promised. She promised to reunite them. Not to free them, to reunite them. They are reunited in the cell. So it actually set up and paid off. Well done. And this is a really good... I mean, again, Ruby Rose can't act for shit. And this is totally carried by Rachel Scarsden, who is awesome. Absolutely awesome. And Ruby's trying. I mean, I'm sure she's trying. She's just shit. But it's such a good moment between the sisters. It's a really, really good moment. And Rachel's just like... And then Mouse is just like... Why did you trust her? And then Jacob, this is the weird thing. Then Jacob turns up and says, right, now we've got you. You're locked up. You can't hurt anyone again, Alice. Goodbye. This is for your own good. And Rachel Scarsden is just going crazy. Absolutely crazy. And it's brilliant. It's brilliant. It's truly brilliant. The setup of it, the whole bit in Arkham, excellent. The locking up of Alice with Mouse, excellent. The sort of you can't see him. There's Jacob. Jacob just sort of being resigned to the fact, you know, brilliant. Not taking any pleasure. None of them taking any pleasure in this whatsoever. But I got a question. Why did you fucking kick the shit and stab everyone if this was actually a plan all along? There's people here. This guy, you could have hit his femoral fucking artery. There are people here who have massive concussions. Why? If this was a setup all along. Could have things? Never mind. Okay. Look, they can't. So, I'm thinking to myself, come on, you've got a really good opportunity to nail a landing here. Come on, show. I'm actually rooting for it. I know. Look, for all the laughs and giggles and mental breakdowns this show has given me, I've said time and time again, and this is true, I love the Bat family. And I truly wanted a good Batwoman show. I never got it. Because they're too busy saying, hey, Kate licks vagina. That was their only message. Meanwhile, they didn't look into the things like morality and story and characterization and making sense and plots and all this sort of all that. Kate licks fudge. And that's such the frustrating element of it. That's what you get, though, when you've got a bunch of virtue-signaling arseholes running virtually every entertainment franchise. So so Ruby tries to act, can't, but tries to act. So I'm just pretending. I'm doing the pretending now. I'm pretending that she's acting okay, but she's not. But she's cut up that she betrayed Alice, and I get it. So Luke turns up at the backstreet abortion clinic. He's covered in blood. Mary thinks he's hurt. He's not. He says it's not my blood, and he explains everything, and he's absolutely broken, and Mary feels like a real character, and it's really good interaction. I think it's setting them maybe up to get together. I think maybe it's setting them up to possibly get together. That'd be nice. A heterosexual relationship on the CW. But it's well acted, and again, I felt like they were both characters. So the second half, as you can clearly see, is significantly better. This is what I want to see Mary as. An actual character. A rounded character. Not this vacuous trollop of bigoted acceptance of all... You know. Just get one personality for her and let it stick. And can we actually have more of Luke Fox being a human being? I like it. I quite like it. Instead of a soy cuck beta male just stood there going, well, actually, I'm in you. Jesus Christ. So, it has a news report about the thing, the murder and the snipe. Julia sets Sophie up in a safe house because Sophie's a target. Sophie calls Jacob from a burner phone. They got that right. From a burner phone, so she can't track him. And then Jacob suddenly becomes the target of a sniper. Hides behind a car, looks into the mirror to locate where the sniper is and shoots him dead. Before he can spill the beans on who is the mole in the Crows. It's all interesting stuff. Second half of this episode is really good. Then they totally fuck up the end! They totally fuck up the ending. Because this show is about vag on vag action. And not about characterization. In the previous scene between Jacob and Kate, Jacob said, Kate, I've moved the body. I've gone back. I've moved the body. Alice can't bribe us. She can't blackmail us. So let's get on with our lives. It's terrible because she's murdered somebody. And she doesn't seem to care that she's murdered somebody. She's acting all sad, but she's acting sad because she's put Alice away. Not that she killed August Cartwright. So this is what should have happened. I'm going to tell you what should have happened in this scene. Now, if the writers do watch these reviews, maybe it's the narcissist in me. If they do, please understand that what I'm going to say now is coming truly from a place of love, right? Because you fucked up plenty of times, trust me, and you know when I have. This is how this scene should have played out. Julia comforts Kate. What's going on? Kate says, I'm not the hero the city thinks I am. Correct. And Julia's just like, okay. And then she says, I killed somebody. I buried somebody. Then Julia should have been more okay. As in, right. And then she says about, I don't want to become like my sister. I don't want to fall into that descent. And Julia should have said, that's up to you. That's how it should have gone. And then said, look, I'm here for Luke. I've heard what happened to Luke. Take it easy. She says, you're not like your sister. And then Kate fucking goes in for the lesbianisms. Because Kate is a selfish, narcissistical, sociopathic, psychopathic bitch. As long as I get what I want, as long as I get who I want, when I want, spoiled fucking Batwoman. Batwoman. There you go. There is the title of the episode. Batwoman. Julia's just an enabler. I mean, she's an actress that had to get paid to snog Ruby Rose, but... Also, by the way, remember when Kate was supposed to be in love with Sophie? And I know people going, but she's vulnerable. She's vulnerable. Yeah, I get that she's vulnerable, but she's just fucking murdered somebody. She's just told Julia, I murdered somebody and I buried somebody and I'm meant to be the hero. Bruce didn't do that. Julia Pennyworth should have been a better character. This character, we know, is a pile of shit. So they totally fucked the ending up. And then it just has Alice monologuing about, I don't want to be in prison, I want to be a queen. Girl, you are queen. In this show, anyway. So, A Tale of Two Shitties. The first half was all over the place as it tried to reconcile a lot of problems that the show has. The second half of the show was very enjoyable. For the most part. They totally fucked the landing. But the writers have shown us that when they try, they can actually do something. It's just such a shame it's taken 16 episodes and the destruction of the show to get there. Ah, well. I hope you enjoyed the vid. I bet you didn't. I bet you just like, I wanted you to go mad. I hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, I've got to be fair. Look, I've got to be fair. I've got to call it how I sees it. Yeah? I've got to call it how I sees it. And if I see something good, I've got to bring it up. I've got to. Because if I don't, then I'm a hypocrite as well. And this episode showed that this show could actually be pretty interesting. I don't know about good, because to be good, you need to have a consistency of episodes, right? But this definitely showed really good glimpses that this show could actually be interesting. If they got rid of all the stupid lesbian politics, sure, have her be gay. Sure, have that come in from time to time. But when you let it define your character, it's not a character-defining feature. Where you stick your genitalia doesn't define you. If you think it does, you're fucking psychotic. Oh, well. So, Kate's a murderer and Kate doesn't care. Kate's a murderer. Kate loves Sophie, but Kate doesn't. Her character's pathetic. The actress is terrible. It's the worst part of the show by a country mile. And to be honest with you, if this lady wasn't in the show, it would be a fucking... Well, it is a disaster. But it would be so much worse, it's unreal. Rachel, you are amazing. You are. Great actress. You are amazing. So I hope you enjoyed the vid. Again. If you did, do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media and Twitch for live streaming. Links are in the description box down below. And I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care. Bye for now.